Let's go to Dino, though. He's an Arsenal fan. Right, Dino?
All right, Dino.
Hello, mate. You all right?
I'm all right, Dino.
All right, Dino.
How are you?
All right, matey.
Yeah, not bad, mate. Not bad. I'm calling for a apology from Mr. Cundy over there.
Go on.
Right, so Cundy, have you got a good memory?
No.
Who's this?
No.
Who's this?
I
Go on.
didn't think so.
Go on.
You said something in about a couple years ago about Nwaneri.
Oh, yeah, go on.
You said that Mikel Arteta was self-indulgent when he gave him his debut.
Yep.
You came on some spewing rant
Yep.
about how it's because about Arteta.
Yep.
He did it just for him.
Yep.
So now,
Yep.
I'm wondering, when the kids played 3 Premier League games, he scored a couple belters in the Carabao Cup.
Yep.
I think an apology's due.
No. And I'll tell you why. Because I was right.
Well, on what basis were you right? If he's playing for Scunthorpe or Peterborough now, I'd be like, yeah.
No.
Right.
So you've misunderstood what I said. You tell me what I said that's wrong.
All right, I'll give you word for word, mate. You said, I think it's a really poor decision because it's about Arteta.
Yep.
It's all about Arteta, the manager that played the youngest player ever.
Yep.
It's self-indulgent.
What's wrong? So you tell me now what's wrong with that quote.
Well, if the geezer had put the kid on and the kid had never played a game for us again, then I'd be like, do you know what? It's a token gesture. You're right, mate.
No. See, you've missed. See, here's the thing. Here's the thing that you've misunderstood. This was over 2 years ago, right?
It was, yes.
Right. At the time, he was 15, right?
He was.
And you played Brentford away, right?
Bang on, mate.
Right. Do you remember who was on the bench that day?
Could name you a couple players who were on the bench, yeah.
Or name them.
We had Fabio Vieira came on, I think, that day.
Right.
We had... Who else did we have?
You were winning 3-1.
We was.
Right. So here's the thing, and I stand by it. The only reason he brought him on, and it was self-indulgent by Arteta, because he wanted to be the manager that gave the youngest player ever in the Premier League his debut. Right? That's why Arteta's self-indulgent. And at the time, I absolutely stand by it, and I stand by it now. Because it was nothing about the game. The game was won, and he had a bench full of experienced players, but he decided, no, I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll stick the youngest player ever.
Isn't that the point? Isn't that the point? The game was won. So what are we going to put on another top player for? To do what exactly?
I know, but why do you think he did that, to put the 15-year-old on? Why do you think he did it?
Well, there's a world where he thought, you know what, this kid's an actual talent. We might lose him to another top team like Man City.
Oh, now you're talking sense.
I agree with this. We've just lost this Chido Obi Martins to Man United, and maybe if we'd played him when he was 15 or 16, maybe he'd still be at the club.
So there was an ulterior motive.
To United, and I bet he'll come through at United.
Yeah.
But Dina, here's the thing, right? What I said back then, I absolutely stand by.
But it would make sense if the kid actually went on and did
listen, I hear what you're saying, Dean. I do, and I agree because the lad's come through and he's looking like a real star.
He's always going to come through.
Well,
he's a good player.
I also agree with Cundy to a certain extent, where he is right. At 15 years old, is that lad going to make any difference in the game? Is he going to do anything to change the fortunes in that moment? He's done it because, as Cundy said, he wanted to be the manager that done it.
I disagree, right? So I don't think Arteta necessarily did it to sort of go, look at me, I've brought on the youngest player ever. I think he may have been doing it to send a message to the younger players that there is a path through to the first team here for you. This could be you. Any of you, right? And now we see Lewis Skelly come through, and we're seeing Nwaneri coming through, and we're seeing Aidan Heaven, and we're seeing some of these young kids. But we also, most of those young kids in that team will be thinking, when am I ever going to get into this Arsenal team, especially as Arsenal were challenging for the league, right, the last 2 or 3 years. So for me, it's an act of sort of almost diplomacy and tact, and it's kind of a political thing, which is to say you could be playing in this team one day.
Are you going to apologise, Cundy?
No, because I stand by what I said. I'm absolutely right then, and I'm even more right now because it's taken 2 years for him to phone up.
He's a wind-up.
It's taken over 2 years. Dean, are you still there?
I am there, mate.
Wait, why didn't you phone up last year?
Well, because the kid hadn't played yet. My point wasn't proven yet.
You've had to wait over 2 years to prove. And it's like, my point back then was right 2 years ago. I've not said he's a bad player. In fact, I feel as though the boy is going to be... So I felt he could have started against Liverpool. In fact, we had this conversation about him, right? But the fact that I said that 2 years ago and you've now phoned up, I think kind of proves that maybe I was...
He come with receipts, old Dino, isn't
he? Dino's got there,
He's got receipts.
He's got
Dino, appreciate your call, mate.
He's got footage, he's got cameras.
He's come after you, mate. He's remembered.
He has remembered.
The Sports Bar with Jamie O'Hara and Jason Cundy. Monday to Thursday nights from 10 on AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.